We're giving you a first look at what one of Houston's great cultural institutions is planning for its upcoming season. And it starts right now. Welcome, bienvenidos a todos, I'm St. John Flynn. Thank you for joining us as we announce the Houston Symphony's 2015-2016 season. And what better place to reveal all the details about the Symphony's classical, pops and family concert series than right here outside Jones Hall, the orchestra's home downtown. With me as we take this musical journey is the Houston Symphony's CEO and Executive Director, Mark Hansen. Mark, welcome, thank you for being here.
Excited to be here.
We're in the middle of a new season with a brand new music director, Orozco-Estrada. How's this season going?
Very well. The entire Houston Symphony is sensing a growing amount of momentum, excitement, and energy. In Andrés, we have found one of the greatest conductors and most inspiring musicians of our time.
How's Andrés settling down here in this new city for him?
Andrés and his family, including his mother from Colombia, are settling in very, very well, loving their work with the orchestra and the reaction from our audiences.
Now for this 2015-2016 season that we're talking about right now, you've chosen the theme, A New Era, A New Sound. What's that all about? What are the goals for the season?
As Andrés's work with the orchestra deepens, a new sound, a new look, a new experience is emerging from the stage. And that headline tries to capture what we're hearing from our audiences. Longtime and new audiences are telling us that they're hearing and seeing new things and experiencing excitement that they never expected at the Houston Symphony.
That's great. Well, the current season has gotten off to a great start under the baton of the new and, let me say, very charismatic music director. And you can experience that charisma for yourselves right now as Andrés Orozco-Estrada tells us what we can look forward to in next season's classical series concerts that he himself has planned. Andrés, welcome. A new era, a new sound, your second season. What are some of the themes that you've put together for this second season?
Many different things. We have repertoire from America, so from North and South America, and for this reason we can say like we have kind of music of the Americas. We will continue our Beethoven cycles. We start this season and we will have more Beethoven symphonies, which is also always very good. We will continue with the chorus, so we have kind of different special points that I want to continue developed in the second season. 2015
marks the 150th anniversary of the birth of Jean Sibelius, and you'll be marking that with Hilary Hahn.
Correct. We are having 2 or 3 programs through the whole season with works or pieces composed by Sibelius. But probably one of the most interesting definitely is having back the big stars from the violin American big star Hilary Hahn playing the Sibelius Violin Concerto. We will have also the first symphony in another program, but this is especially interesting, I think, for everyone, but also for me especially. I'm very looking forward to work with Hilary Hahn for the first time. And this is about on the very beginning of the season, which makes the start with even more energy, kind of motivation for the whole season.
Talking of famous violinists, opening night will feature Joshua Bell.
Correct. What should I say? I mean, it's an honor, it's a great joy, and looking forward also to really open the season with such a big start. It's amazing. But it's on the same time. That's what we do with the Houston Symphony, playing with the big names.
A name that we might not know quite as much, Patricia Kopachinskaya. You have worked with her in Austria?
Yes, in many different places. Like some months ago, we did our last concert in Rotterdam, playing a very strange and particularly interesting piece by Ligeti. But he's a great artist. He's very fresh, very spontaneously, and even if she played something that seems to be very traditional, she has the gift, she has the intelligence and also the inspiration to make it sound I like something very new, and this is something actually you're always looking for when you work and when you make music, to make the moment as unique as possible. And she has this talent.
Talking of things new, the Concerto for Four Horns. This is a new commission from James Horner.
Correct.
The film composer.
Correct. And this is a co-commission. This piece will be played also somewhere in Europe, but we will have the premiere here in America, and it's also good because you give the opportunity to our musicians to be part of the soli. So the soloist we have the whole season, and it makes also the season even more interesting.
You're continuing to work on an extended basis with Gabriela Elena Frank as well.
Correct. We start in this first season, as we know, we played many pieces. Also our first performance we did at the beginning of the season, and we will play even more. So the coming season we'll play the viola concerto called La Llorona, a piece that was actually premiered here, and I just heard the piece some months ago and I liked it so much and I wanted to have it back. And again, with Wayne, our principal solo viola, again, opportunity to our musicians to show up, to come here and show to everyone their level and the talent. But again, it's the opportunity to have always something new in the programs, and Gabriela is doing a great job and we enjoy very much her music.
And in July, you'll be bringing the National Colombian Youth Orchestra that you are very closely tied to.
Correct. So this is also a very special project, of course, not only for me, but I think even more important for the youth orchestra itself. So they will have the opportunity to come to Houston and work together. We will have some concerts along only with the orchestra, which I will conduct, and then we will play together one of the probably more popular pieces in the vocal and symphonic repertoire, which is Carmina Burana. We will have two concerts, so we will spend more or less, they will spend like a week, I will spend more than a week. But they will be here, of course, and we will work together. And also some of our musicians will be traveling to Colombia to prepare the musicians. So it's a really, really tight connection, and I'm looking forward and very happy this will be possible.
The Symphony has commissioned an adaptation from John Corigliano of a piece of his called Stomp.
Stomp. Correct.
Talk about that a little bit.
It's a great pleasure, great honor to have one of the major composers, America's major composer, John Corigliano, join us the next season, and especially because I also like to open the season, really the indoor season, with something new. And we did it this year with Gabriela Elena Frank's first performance, and next season is John Corigliano. So it's the way we want to continue to open every classical series season.
And you are rounding out the HD Odyssey trilogy with The Cosmos, featuring music of Dvorak.
Correct. I had the great opportunity to record the music from the second one, The Earth, which is now already available for everyone. And now we finished this trilogy with Cosmos, Dvorak Newborn Symphony, the perfect piece for that. I'm looking forward. We already recorded the music, and now we have to add all the image and have a great DVD.
A great second season, Andres. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Andres Orozco-Estrada there. And I've been able to get to know him over the last couple of years since he was named music director. And I've seen firsthand what an engaging personality he has. Mark, Andres really knows how to grab an audience's attention, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. His passion for music making is contagious. Whether he's talking about music or leading a rehearsal or concert, his energy just leaps off the stage.
Well, while the music director is obviously critical to an orchestra's music making, he can't make that music alone. He needs musicians, and the Houston Symphony has more than 80 of them who all play their part to create that perfect sound that will captivate an audience. I sat down recently with 3 musicians from the Symphony who get to experience Andres' creativity and charisma at each performance, and particularly in every rehearsal. Rodica, Mark and Judy, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on the stage of a Studi Concert Hall. This is a space that you know really well. The orchestra does its annual I'm a Hog competition here in Studi Concert Hall. But this is also the venue for a brand new experience for the orchestra, along with Andres, musically speaking. What is Musically Speaking with Andres, Mark?
Well, this is a new series that we're using to break down the typical barriers. And by using Andres's gifts, he's very good at talking with audiences and explaining things. And so this allows us to take sections of the music, play them, and then these are then explained in detail, maybe how a composer might come about certain musical ideas and explain the process from the beginning to the end. And I find it just as interesting to be a part of as I'm sure the audiences do to witness.
It's like the Andres Rose show.
Yes, exactly.
The theme of this season is new era, new sound. How is that playing out, pun intended, I guess, in the orchestra? For you, Rodica, what is it like to have a new music director on the podium?
I think, like Mark mentioned, his personality is definitely contagious. And I remember when we first had him as a guest conductor back 2 years ago, I was blown away the first time we played Symphony Fantastique, and he raised his arms and he started conducting, and the first couple measures I went, whoa. It's just amazing to see how much energy and talent he has when he gets on stage and tries to, you know, explain to us exactly how he sees that certain piece of music. It's just amazing. We just love that.
Perhaps a more insightful question would be, what's he like, Judy, in rehearsal? Which is where you guys do most of the work,
Yes,
obviously.
yes. He is just as fun and bubbly as he is actually when he's speaking to the audience or speaking to just sort of people in the community. He has a lot of energy. He's always really happy and very, oh, I'm so excited about this part, you know, so he's got a lot of infectious energy, so we're all excited as much as he is because of that.
I'm going to use an inside music word, stick technique, when we talk about conductors and how they use a baton and how they are on the podium. What's the stick technique like?
Well, for me, there's a difference. And most American conductors, it's like when they grab a baton, it looks like they're grabbing a stick and they're going to beat you with it. And they grab it and they hold it. And not all, but generally that's sort of the school here. And if you'll watch Andres, I love the fact, you know, being a trumpeter, I have lots of rest and I can watch him a lot. And I really love watching what he does. It's very classic, old school European style technique, but the baton basically is floating in the air, but he's so expressive with his hands. It's like it's a tenderness in his hands. So he's able to pull out all kinds of emotions with the stick, where I think the average person just thinks they're up there beating it around. But it's actually very expressive in what he's saying with his hands. So I love that, actually. It's
that's good for musicians, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, Rodica, what's it like for you as musicians? What effect has this new guy coming in had on you as an ensemble?
I think we are really sounding much better. He's trying to, he is getting out of the whole orchestra a different sound that we used to had before, and his facial expression when he looks at us, we all, kind of have a radiation coming out from our faces looking at him. It's amazing. He wants to see us not just buried down in our music and just looking from time to time. He just wants us, almost playing by memory, wants us to be there with him and feel everything he feels. I mean, it's this attraction that we feel from him. So I think we sound, we have a different sound. Of course, every conductor has the ability to pull out, based on their sensitivity, different sounds. So I think, especially lately with this Beethoven festival that we had, it was just amazing. We just sounded wonderful.
And finally, because of his charisma, do you feel, Judy, that you're breaking down some of the traditional barriers between the audience and the orchestra, the musicians? Do you feel closer to the people, so to speak?
I think so. I mean, I attended a concert he did in his music director designate season, where they played the Schnittke. Do you remember this? So I'm sitting in the audience. He was explaining this piece. It's a very, it's not a non-traditional, right. Yes, thank you. And so he was kind of going through this piece, explaining what's going to happen. The audience just loved him so much, And you could just feel in the audience, people like, wow, this is really great. He's explaining this to us. We get what he's saying, and they love this. They gave this piece a standing ovation, which I never thought I would see Schnicke get. So he does have the ability to really connect to the audience, and they love him for it.
And that brings out the best in you guys. Well, I know that 2015-2016 is going to be another great season for the Houston Symphony with Andres Orozco-Estrada. Rodica, Mark, and Judy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Houston Symphony musicians are excited about their collaboration with Andres, and they certainly pass that excitement on to the audiences. While the Houston Symphony might be synonymous with classical music, you might be surprised to find out that they offer a lot more than that. My colleague Ernie Manous and Houston Symphony Principal Pops conductor Michael Krajewski give us a taste of what to expect on the 2015-2016 Pops Series concerts.
So Michael, an exciting season for the Pops.
Absolutely, we can't wait.
So what is your favorite thing on the list?
Well, I have a lot of favorites. I would say probably next season, in this coming season, the Carole King program, because that's one that I've had an idea I've had rattling around in my brain for a while, and I finally got around to putting together this tribute to Carole King. I've loved her music for decades. I think many people feel the same way. She's written such great songs, so I can't wait to bring that to Houston and to hear the music of Carole King performed by the Houston Symphony.
What triggers that for you? Where do you pick when an artist is the right one for you to take to a full show?
It's just me kind of thinking about what do I think our audience would enjoy. We're all about playing music that people know, that people love, that people feel is part of their history,
Yeah.
And so we want to do classics. It's the Houston Symphony playing classics, but we play classics of popular music. And certainly at this point, the music of Carole King are classics. I mean, they're just iconic. That's iconic American popular music at this point.
When you speak iconic popular music, though, the Beatles. Can't get more iconic than that.
You're absolutely right about that. And I don't know if you know this, but this is going to be represent the 50th anniversary of the first appearance of the Beatles in Houston.
Really?
Yeah, and we're going to celebrate that at the Houston Symphony. 50 years ago, who would have thought that the Houston Symphony would have been playing music of the Beatles? Back then, they seemed like a wild group from England. No one
With
knew.
their long hair and everything.
Long hair, no one knew what was going on. Everybody was worried about them, the decadent society, and now, again, iconic music, part of our history of popular music, and as I said, we're going to celebrate by honoring the Beatles for
And
one
you
of
put
our programs.
a little bit of a twist on it, too, because you have guest artists joining you.
Yeah, we're going to reinterpret the music of the Beatles. We have this fabulous vocal group, 6-member vocal group from, believe it or not, Finland, and they're called Rioton. They're an amazing vocal ensemble, and they kind of are going to give their own spin, reinterpretation to the music of the Beatles, including on this program, we're going to do the entire Sgt. Pepper album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, something else that people would love is the music of John Williams. John Williams has been here, but this time you folks are going to take a stab at the music.
Absolutely. John Williams has been a real gift to the symphony orchestra world because he's written all this great movie music, but all the music was for symphony orchestra.
Yeah.
So we're going to just, play all of his most beloved music, music from Star Wars and Jurassic Park and E.T. and Raiders, and the list goes on and on.
At this point in your career, are there things that you think of as the challenges you want to tackle, or is it all just the enjoyment of getting out there with the symphony?
Just the enjoyment of getting out there and just continuing to find all this great popular music and bringing it to the concert hall and having it played by the symphony orchestra. There's something different about, when you put this music that we've heard on the radio or heard on a Broadway stage or in the movies and put it in the hands of these phenomenal musicians who are in the Houston Symphony. It transforms them. You hear it in a different way, but it's still the music that but now performed by this, a live symphony orchestra. It has a new life to it. It's really exciting every time we do this.
Now, we hear all this excitement, but there's a tiny bit of sadness mixed in all of this, because I hear you have some news.
Well, yes, I do. I've been with the orchestra now for 15 years, wow. And it's been a great ride for me. But I'm also kind of thinking that maybe it's time for me to move on to other things, and so I'll be with the orchestra as principal pops conductor for 2 more years, and then I'm going to step aside and let someone else take over the reins, and thank my lucky stars that I had this opportunity all these past years to work with this fantastic orchestra.
When you go to a symphony hall, do you feel when you're sitting in the audience, does a hand start moving? Do you get into it, or can you just enjoy it for the music?
I really have a hard time enjoying it. I really want to jump up there and say, step aside, let me try this.
We've got a wonderful season laid out for us coming up, and then another season after that. Thank you so much for all that you're bringing and giving to us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We look forward to hearing it all.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ernie. And also thank you to Mike for being a superb pops conductor over many years. We'll be sorry to see you go. So Mark, the 2015-16 theme is a new era, a new sound. And certainly for the pop series, there's going to be a new era. Mike's successor is Stephen Reinecke. What can you tell us about Stephen?
Stephen is one of the nation's most sought after pops conductors, composers, and arrangers. And we've had the privilege of working with him many times over the last several years. He brings to Houston a very, very strong reputation through his work as principal pops conductor of the New York Pops at Carnegie Hall and the National Symphony at the Kennedy Center. And we're really looking forward to his innovative, exciting, and joyful pops performances with us.
He's certainly got some big shoes to fill. One more concert series offered by the Houston Symphony is the Family Series. My colleague Ernie Manous and Houston Symphony Associate Conductor Robert Franz have more about that.
So Robert, we're outdoors at Miller Outdoor Theater, and the reason for that is?
Well, because the Houston Symphony, our home is not just at Jones Hall. We perform here during the summer, in fact throughout the whole year, as well as around town on many, many places and many occasions.
And I think that's the coolest thing about the Family Series, that you go out into the community. You actually go and find your audience.
That's right. So in June, the entire month of June, we do summer neighborhood concerts in up to about 12 or 13 locations all around the community for up to 7,000 people. But the truth, Ernie, is that over the course of a year, we perform for 150,000 people free in venues much like this and around the city.
Okay, we're here to talk about a new season.
Yeah.
So got some things you're excited about?
I do. You know, we've got this great family series at Jones Hall. So these are 4 concerts. They're designed for kids with their parents and their grandparents to enjoy, so multi-generational. We start actually on Halloween morning this year doing a spooktacular, and we've got this incredible group of dancers. They're called Inertia Dance Company from Westside High School. These kids are amazing. So they're going to be dancing with the orchestra, as well as kids can wear their costumes. We hope they will, and they'll get to do a walk across the stage, a march. Costume parade, right? Then in December we have our holiday show, which this year is going to be Frosty and Frozen, so Let It Go will be featured, of course. And then we're doing this really cool concert called Superheroes. Now, we're going to do the Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra by Benjamin Britten, which introduces kids to the entire orchestra, but we've got a little twist, and our friends at Tuts are going to help us out this year. So we've got 4 narrators. We've got Captain America, Batman, Iron Man, and Helen from The Incredibles. The 4 of them are going to be narrating this for us. And of course, I'll be dressed in some sort of costume, as I am for all of these shows, but you have to come to the concert to see what that's going to be. And then we end the season with this concert about dreams. And I'm really excited about this. It's going to feature the music from The Little Mermaid, but also from A Midsummer Night's Dream. And we're going to feature some young kids' dreams up on video. We're going to ask kids kind of what they dream about being when they grow up. And we're going to have a whole montage of kids' dreams.
Okay, so what did you dream about when you were growing up?
You know what? From the age of 9 years old, being a musician. I knew the minute I started playing the cello that I wanted to sit on a stage just like this and perform for people.
Yeah. Did you know you'd be dressing the way you would? Okay, and I bring that up because you mentioned Halloween is the first one of the series.
Yes.
That's really got to be a challenge for you, because it is tradition for you to dress for each concert.
That's exactly right. So it is a little bit of a...
This is a lot of pressure on
Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween is the most difficult concert for me to come up with a costume for, because I love doing it. You know, I've been doing these concerts for well over a decade now, and the thing is that I always dress in a different costume. I almost never use the same costume twice, because I keep people guessing. In fact, the orchestra doesn't even know what costume I'm going to wear until I come out for the performance.
Where did this tradition start from?
You know, this started, you know what, I found some pictures the other day. I was at home over the holidays, and I found some pictures of myself dressed up in all these weird costumes as a kid. I think it was my mother who did this.
She's the fault of this.
It's totally my mother. I give her full credit for it.
What are you most looking forward to in the season?
You know, making music with this incredible orchestra, it's an incredible honor for me to be able to do that, and to be able to share that music that I love love, with these musicians that I love, with people of all ages and stripes and all areas of the city. It's an incredible thing to be able to do.
Well, I think the wonderful bonus to everything that you folks do is then the education that comes with it. And it's building that audience for the future.
That's exactly right. So this year we'll have 55,000 students who will be coming to Jones Hall to hear the orchestra perform. From our detective series for kindergarten through third graders, to our Explorer series for 4th through 6th, to our brand new Explorers in the middle school for 7th through 9th graders. We have 55,000 kids who come and experience the orchestra for the first time in their lives with us.
In the 2 seconds left, why is that important? Why should children see this?
You know, music, listening to classical music itself changes the way the brain works. It changes the way we think about the world around us. And for us to be able to bring that to our community is really a special thing.
And it's differently changed the way you do things.
Absolutely, no question.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you.
So children, parents, even grandparents, you want to make sure that you get your seats for those exciting family series concerts. I know from experience that Robert makes them a great deal of fun. You can find out more about the Houston Symphony's 2015-16 season online at houstonsymphony.org. Mark, thank you very much for being here. It's great to see you again. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for helping us to unveil our next season.
And thank you as well to you for joining us. We hope that we'll see you at Jones Hall sometime during the upcoming season. Hasta la próxima.